So I made a video yesterday talking about Captain America Brave New World, and if you didn't check it out, I would highly check him out because I feel like I gave a really good input on the movie. I did see the movie yesterday. I saw it, the pre-opening day, the pre-screening, and I do have some thoughts on it that I feel like I covered really well in that video, so I would check that out. But leading up to this, we had the early review, then we had the critics review, and now we have the fans review, the audience review. It debuted at around an 80%, I believe. At a point, it was at 80 something percent, but at the time of making this video, it has dropped to 78% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is far different from the 51% it has right now from critics. Now, this is 78% based on 1,000 plus verified ratings, while the critics ones has around 214 reviews. So a lot more fans rated this movie than critics. But it seems like the majority of fans, 78 looks a little worse than 80%, but it seems like a majority of fans really like the movie based on 1,000. So I want to go through, talk about their reviews, talk about my opinion on the reviews. Do I agree with certain reviews? What are people saying? But the fans have spoken, so let's jump into it. Never listen to the critics, even though we need more Red Hulk and we need our Green Hulk back. Absolute beautiful. I need go to rewatch next days. This movie is terrible, clumsy, anticlimactic, and almost as exciting as a rerun. Bad CGI in the post-credit scene is terrible. Marvel started the year with a bomb. I do not recommend this movie. So, never listen to critics is correct. Form your own opinion. I feel like Red Hulk was enough. I feel like we had enough of Red Hulk. I like the lead up to that, and I thought that the second review just didn't make sense. Now, I did see, the anticlimactic thing is the fact that it was very predictable in certain parts, and the CGI was just for certain people. Following in the footsteps of the most hate-fueled TV show to be aired on Disney Plus, Falcon and the Winter Soldier comes more boring, monotonous, and distasteful MCU slop that even a sounder of pigs won't go near. An absolute Franken feature that shows all the telltale signs of being endlessly rewritten, reshot, re-edited to within an inch of its pathetic life. Even more evidence that Deadpool and Wolverine was an anomaly and that the MCU continues to plunge deeper into irrelevancy. Not sure what the critics were thinking to give this movie such low ratings. Our family thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It was fun, and seeing Mackie and Ford together was awesome. I don't really see how it followed the Falcon and Winter Soldier in that one, I have to say, but you can tell that there are many points that it was rewritten, reshot, re-edited, but it was a little, harsh, that one. So first, don't be an idiot and listen to professional reviewer. These people are self-serving, talented trolls. If you have thought about the first Captain America without Steve Rogers, go and see it and make an informed opinion. But enough about then. Captain America, A Brave New World had a lot of writing on it and a very public, problematic production, as well as issues related to characters involved in it. Yet, despite all of that, the film was fun, slow in place, but Anthony Mackie was decent in the role of Sam Wilson in the character's first outing as the new Captain America. The new Falcon annoyed me a bit, but despite that, I still enjoyed the dynamic between them. Harris did a great job filling in for the late William Hurt as Thunderbolt Ross. I would say the film felt more like a sequel to The Incredible Hulk through most of it. I do feel certain beats didn't hit perfectly, but overall glad I went to see it. Did it live up to what came before? Almost. It is bad MCU movie? Hell no. All in all, a solid entry. Let's keep going. The movie was really good. Sam Wilson gives a new, fresh take on what it means to be Captain America, and I think Mackie does an amazing job of doing that in his own way while showing his struggles of being human, a leader, and putting others ahead of himself, trying to do the mantle proud. The plot of the movie was simple and executed wonderfully. Nothing felt out of place. It was easy to follow, made sense, and was thoroughly enjoyable. Great work to anyone who worked on the film. It's not the greatest MCU film, but it's definitely a great standalone film and a step in the right direction. A step in the right direction maybe is yes, just based on the production hell that it was in, but it definitely was a good entry in it as a solo film. At the same time, though, I do understand the argument that it is a Captain America movie and it should be kind of higher stakes because, it's more of a main character. But you have to remember this is Sam Wilson and not Steve Rogers. It was a good entry for this, and I would be interested in seeing a sequel to it or even perhaps a trilogy of this Captain America. Although slow-paced at time, the movie felt like a breath of fresh air compared to recent Marvel movies. Anthony Mackie was electric, and honestly, this was the most fun I've had watching a movie in theaters for a long time. Looking forward to Cap's return again. I don't know, maybe he didn't see Deadpool and Wolverine, but that was a lot of fun. It was the worst movie I've watched. I got out of the cinema as soon as I could. Our mother, Captain America, the only there should be is Steven Rogers. If he died, Captain America died with him. Why is now Sam Wilson new and Falcon and what it should be? Now, this is just somebody who really hates the fact that Steve Rogers gave the shield to Sam Wilson. Wherever you feel, if you think you should give it to Bucky, you think you should give it to Sam, you could tell just based off that. he wasn't going to like this movie. But it's all right if you don't like that, because the fact that if you'd rather somebody else have the shield and you felt Bucky was more deserving, that's fine. Here's a long one. Captain America with 3 stars. Captain America Brave New World is enjoyable if you like the characters, but it's definitely not a good movie. The writing is mostly bad. The dialogues are far from being natural, and there are very few cheesy lines here and there. The characters are most enjoyable if you've seen The Falcon and The Winter Soldier. That's why I enjoyed both Sam and Joaquin's characters. My favorite new character is Ruth. I was surprised to see how much I liked her. There are a few good scenes in the movie, but there is one that is truly great. I'm talking about the scene in the hospital. I think that puts the movie into context because there are many scenes like that in other movies. There's only one truly great in it, and that's why it isn't a great movie. On the other hand, the themes of redemption, revenge are well presented, in my opinion. The cinematography is mixed along with the lighting. The underground scene is very well lit, but the final fight scene's lighting is extremely bad. It makes you realize how much everything is a digital effect. The characters' animations or prosthetics are not that good. On the other hand, the environments look mostly amazing. The score is extremely forgettable. The cast is great. Harrison Ford is great at Ross, portraying the president of the USA again, just a little different. I like both Danny Ramirez and Anthony Mackie, but Giancarlo Esposito was criminally underused. Shira Haas was great as Ruth. I don't have a problem with Tim Blake Nelson, but I dislike his character very much. His last scene is probably why I disliked The Incredible Hulk. Captain America Brave New World is weak with having a lot of previous movies than shows, but I have, so I quite liked it. I really like this review. I feel like it's a very honest review. The 3-star review, I could really get behind this review. Certain things, I wasn't a huge fan of Ruth. I do see where they're coming from. Giancarlo Esposito was a major complaint for me because I love him as an actor, and I feel like he can do so much, and he felt so underused, like the person said. Overall, it was a good, enjoyable movie. Not perfect when it came to the storyline and the characters' motives, but action scenes were great and the stars leaned into their roles. Definitely worth the watch. Marvel has returned to the glory of yesteryear. The movie had great action sequences, a solid plot, and a well-paced story. This is the 3rd best movie in the Captain America series. The Winter Soldier and Civil War are juggernauts, so the 3rd is a great position, and I really like the first Avengers, so that tells you something. Most useless MCU movie. Literally, Red Hulk appears only at the end for like 7 minutes, and the way it ends the fight is the most cliche thing I've ever seen. Most of the cast is pretty useless to the story. Also, Serpent Society got cut, and you can see it easily in some elements of the story got cut. Yeah, I could definitely see that. I thought my man Seth Rollins from WWE was going to be in it, but it seems like they completely cut him out, and that was correct. And, they weren't fooling us. It's all right. Please don't waste your time for the end credits. If you're in the movie, I would go see the end credits. I mean, I understand. Kept a good pace and loved the action scenes. Might not be the best. Has its flaws, but it's still an enjoyable political action thriller. It was awful. You can't replace Steve Rogers with another Avenger total crap film. Waste of money going to see it. Yeah. This person was not happy about Steve Rogers giving him the shield. 3.5 stars, which I kind of find are the most fair ones because I don't believe this movie deserves 5 stars. 4 stars is okay. 3.5 I feel is right in the sweet spot. And I think I'm going to like this review right here. Neither good nor bad. Anthony Mackie is excellent. Harrison Ford's ear implants or whatever are a little distracting. Overall, the plot isn't terrible, but the movie is severely let down by the director. Scene framing was an amateur at best. Awards aside, I've never seen one of Julius Onah's movies before and likely won't again if I can help it. The aerial battle scene and Red Hulk battle scene was pretty good. Some of Cap's battle moves were pretty cool. It was good to see Isaiah back in action. Giancarlo Esposito's character seemed a bit forced. Maybe it was part of the rewrites. The movie had a lot of potential, but it was a letdown by the directing and some of the dialogue. Bottom line, if you're a comic or Marvel movie fan, see it. Otherwise, wait for streaming. Anthony Mackie does an amazing job. He is Captain America. I thought the movie for what it had to work with was good. Wish it had a little more to it, but definitely would not say it was bad in any way. Post-credit scene, though, that I thought was a waste. Yeah, you're going to see this a lot. Anthony Mackie was really good in his role as Captain America. He felt good. The film is great and Sam Wilson deserves a trilogy. Steve Rogers' legacy is in good hands. Go to the cinema. And then the next review, Steve Rogers is Captain America. We have a 5-star review and then a half-star review. The duality of man. For Marvel fans, this is much to love and wish for more for this movie. I know we got a show before this movie, but the downfall is a story gap from why the Avengers are no more. Does the general public know and why no one else response to how it happens around the world? That's enough for me to leave off a star. However, introduction of some new characters, this is the movie you will look back on to see that it was the leading movie that sets the tone of what is to come. The more of an Easter egg movie, in my opinion, than something that is more matter of the fact. There are still a need for strong tides from other Marvel introductions and storylines, but it is a great action movie. For any loving person, you will enjoy these moments in this film. I came to see Red Hulk and I was not disappointed. It had a lot of talented actors, a good budget, and lots of action, but it was still really difficult to watch. The cinematography was nothing near dazzling. It felt blah and cheaply made. Film orchestration was horrible. Welcome to a roller coaster ride that leaves you wishing you never waited in a long ride nor paid the high fees for lighting passes. Super cheesy and a super letdown. The story is too weak. Captain America Brave New World is an exciting addition to the MCU, firmly establishing Sam Wilson's Anthony Mackie as the new Captain America. The film blends intense action with the political intrigue as Sam faces global conflicts and more dilemmas. The action sequences are thrilling, and Mackie delivers a strong performance, showing that Sam doesn't need superpowers to be a hero. Harrison Ford is fantastic at Thaddeus Ross, bringing the weight to this role, especially in his transformation into the Red Hulk. With solid direction, great cinematography, and a compelling story, the film is a must-watch for Marvel fans. It honors the legacy of Captain America while paving the way for the future. Now, I want to get over to something that I thought was really interesting to put out: verified fan reviews. So let's get into those. The movie was awful. It didn't even deserve half of a star. Worst Marvel movie by far. I put it in the same category as Madam Web, the Venom series, and Morbius, which I don't count as Marvel since they're done by Sony in their own universe. All of them, including the streaming pile of crap, have been some of the worst movies I've ever seen from any genre. The movie had good throwbacks, felt like a modern Incredible Hulk sequel. It was a good movie with good action and good story adding into a bigger story. Could have been better, but still a good escape. Now, the problem with that review is that it should not have felt like a Incredible Hulk sequel. It should felt like Anthony Mackie's own story, maybe a sequel to Captain America, which I felt like it did at the same time, but I understand where people are coming from. Captain America Brave New World is an absolute triumph, a beacon of hope and a resilience that shines brightly in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The film masterfully blends action, emotion, and character development, delivering a story that is both thrilling and deeply moving. Chris Evans returns with a performance that is powerful and nuanced, embodying the spirit of Captain America, the unwavering prediction. The storyline is a roller coaster of emotions filled with unexpected twists and turns that keep you on the edge of your seat. The themes of bravery, sacrifice, and unity resonate strongly, reminding us that even in the space of overwhelming odds, we are in the power to overcome. The visual effects are stunning, and the action sequences are choreographed to perfection, making every moment a visual feast. Overall, Captain America Brave New World is a must-watch for fans and newcomers alike. It captures the essence of what makes superhero films so inspiring, leaving you with a renewed sense of hope and reminder that just like Captain America, we will have strength within us to face challenges ahead on. So I read this review, and I'm thinking, did he just mess up as Chris Evans, saying Chris Evans is in it? Or is he just trolling at this point because he gave it 5 stars? But I wanted to conclude that because it's like some of these reviews could be slated in some way, both ways. Somebody could be, review bombing it in the favor of the movie, and somebody could be review bombing it because they hate the movie. I was hoping for good first entry as Sam for Captain America, but this was incredibly sloppy all around. The pace of the movie was slow. The villain once again was underwhelming, and this ending made no sense whatsoever. The only highlight was a new Falcon because he was an absolute dud that had lots of, and I'm not going to continue that, funny scenes and funny surprises. Trailer kind of summarized the whole film though. Yes, exciting, lots of action and good storyline, but yes, the trailer, I felt like I watched the whole movie in the trailer after seeing the movie. Loved it. Happy to see Cap is back. I really enjoyed this movie. It's not perfect, but it doesn't need to be. This is Sam's story, not Steve. Torres is a good Falcon, and I love the thriller espionage vibes from the movie. Good stuff. Title of the movie says it all. Steve Rogers lives only in legend now. Don't go in expecting Steve Rogers level action. It's a decent movie, but feels poorly put together. Not the worst Marvel movie, though. And finally, I had a few more reviews, but we're going on for a while now. It wasn't terrible. I mean, the Captain America franchise is a tough one to live up to. Winter Soldier and Civil War are 2 of the best Marvel movies ever made, and First Avengers was very good itself. So if I were to rank it as a Captain America movie, there's no question it's 4th. I would put it over Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Well, I guess he means Falcon and the Winter Soldier, if we're counting that. But compared to the trash Marvel has released since Endgame, it was amazing. Overall, it was decent fun at times at the movie. I was eye-rolling a bit at the beginning, as it felt like they were telling us a story instead of showing us. Kind of felt like lazy writing. But about halfway through, it got a lot better when the leader finally showed up. His motives were a bit meh. He's an evil genius that can see infinite possibilities, and all he wanted was revenge on Thunderbolt Ross. But it did at least get exciting at that point. I was pleasantly surprised, and there was no hidden woke agenda. No, you gotta do better center moment. Just a story to tell with decent action sequences. And we're gonna end it off there. Yeah, I mean, I gotta hear what you guys gotta say. Did you like Captain America Brave New World? Did you see Captain America Brave New World? And do you kind of agree with the audience, or do you agree more with the critics? I mean, the audiences, the ones I showed seem a little out there, seem, a little much, but it is what the audience is rating, and we looked at both verified reviews and non-verified reviews, and I kind of kept it together. Well, I want to hear what you guys have to say. I kind of agree with a lot of these. Like I said in my review, there are certain elements I like and certain elements I didn't like. I've explained the plot. I feel like you should check that out. I'm going to say it one more time. But again, let me know what you think of this. Let me know what you thought of Captain America: Brave New World. Solid entry, but nothing too crazy.